What is up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of the Two Game Podcast. We are back and we are starting kind of a brand new series, and it's going to kind of lead into a lot of other content. It's something that Nick and I have been discussing for a long time, and it's been put on the back burner. We've done a ranking episode back in the OG days, back when I was in the fucking bathroom recording all this shit. You remember that, dude? That's a long
I
time
do.
ago.
That was you guys strictly moved out of the closet so I could fit in
And I think we were sharing like two people on one mic, two guys, one
there.
mic.
Oh,
Hmm.
that was back before
Now we're
the
talking.
video days and everything.
Exactly, dude. Now we have video proof of everything. But we did a Star Wars ranking episode back in the OG days, and we have not reviewed each individual movie of Star Wars. We have only reviewed The Acolyte, which it was a terrible first one to review, but I digress. I don't want to start a rant here. Andor season 2 is on the horizon, coming out next month. And I thought this was a great time to finally check out season 1. I've never watched it. Nick, you've watched it. So I thought this was a great chance to go back, watch it in preparation of season 2, and give y'all our thoughts on all the episodes of season 1 in advance. Nick will be joining me for season 2. That's broken up into 4 parts or some shit like that.
Yeah, I think it's
Um,
3 episodes a week for 4 weeks or something like that.
yeah, so we're going to be reviewing all those episodes as they release, and then we are going to end it with Rogue One, potentially.
Okay.
Just
Okay.
saying. You and I haven't really discussed Rogue One a whole lot.
If we did, it was during that review back in the OG days in the bathroom, and I honestly don't remember that. So
Not me neither. So after that, Nick and I have talked about finally jumping in on the trilogy of trilogies. I know Revenge of the Sith comes out back in theaters next month. 100% going to fucking see that again. 100%. By the way, speaking of re-releases, did you see that they're doing the marathon of the Lord of the Rings extended editions again?
oh, I know I did not see that.
Yeah, they were. I was like, oh, my body's not
No,
ready for this again.
no, I did it once. I'm not doing it again. Like it was fun and all, but I already got back problems. I'm seeing a chiropractor now. Like, we're not doing
I spent way too much money that day
that.
eating there. But anyways, that's ADD moments. We're here for Andor episodes 1 through 4. So if you have not watched those first 4 episodes, this is where you pause the video and then you come back once you have caught up through episode 4. Full spoilers from this point forward. Episodes 1 through 4, sir. What did you think about this? Now, y'all told me in advance that this was a little bit of a slow burn to start off, and that's really all that you and I have discussed about this show. So
And
the floor is yours.
were you thankful that we told you it was a slow burn, or would you have given up after an episode or two?
I wouldn't have given up. The intrigue was there. Like, I'm a huge fan of Cassian. I really liked his character in Rogue One, so I don't think I would have fallen off after 2 episodes. I know they released the first 3 episodes at once, and I fucking understand why they did that, because shit doesn't really happen until episode 3.
Yep.
So I wouldn't have
This
fallen off. I would have been, after episode 2, been like, is this gonna
you need
be
to give me something.
you need to give me something. And once I watch episode 3, I'm like, all right, yeah, I'm on board. I'm on board.
Yep. This is the Star Wars that we as adults need. This is it's dark, it's gritty, it's messy. It's what adults need. It's what the grown-ups want.
It's what the people that grew up with I didn't grow up with the OG trilogy, but we grew up with the OG trilogy.
We
Okay.
grew up on the OG trilogy.
Exactly. And then the prequel trilogy is really what got me into Star Wars. Actually, no, I take that back. I got into the OG trilogy first, and but I mean, I was a young kid
Oh
watching
yeah,
those movies.
absolutely. I
But
remember catching like what was it? I remember catching Return on TV at my grandparents' house every summer. And I would always like it would start and 3PO and R2 would be walking to Jabba's lair, and then I'd have to go away for dinner, and I'd come back, and Luke's talking to Yoda, and I always thought growing up that Yoda was in Jabba's lair because I always missed that part for dinner.
what the fuck? And then you see like all the shit that you missed.
Right, and then like, oh, light bulb.
Light bulb. So yeah, I mean, I grew up on the. I saw all the prequel trilogy movies in theaters, and so yeah, I agree. I think this is kind of what we want as Star Wars fans. And once we've kind of gotten, the Acolyte tone wise, tone wise was kind of what I wanted. Now the show sucked by all means. It fucking sucked. But in terms of like giving us some more adult oriented content, I was about the tone of it. But I agree with you on this. The dark, gritty uh side of the Star Wars universe is 100% what we need.
Well, can we?
Not
I mean, are you shocked that the opening scene of this series is Andor going into a strip club and or hooker bar,
I was like, God
and
damn,
and
bro.
then 9 minutes he uh, just point blank kills two people in cold blood.
I was pleasantly surprised by all that. And I was like, damn, dude. Did Disney make this?
Dis-
I need to recheck to
Disney
see who made
made
this.
this and put it on Disney Plus. Hookers and murder in 9 minutes.
That cold opening was what like it really grabbed me. And that's what kind of makes I don't want to say episode 1 and 2 are disappointing because I don't think they're disappointing. I just think a lot of episode 1 and 2 is world building. Kind of
Which
show
I have to appreciate the world building also because, I mean, let's face it, when it comes to Star Wars, we don't get really anything fleshed out throughout the entire series.
no, that is very much correct. And with the world building, the Premor Authority, which look, I'm gonna be honest, guys. All right, and I've gotten flack from this from people on the channel before commenting about how I don't read comics and the books and shit like that. You know what? I don't fucking give a fuck. Okay, I watched the important shit, which was the fucking movies. Okay, um, so when the Premor Authority came into play, I was like, who the fuck are these guys? Am I in the right like fucking time zone with where this show is? Because I thought it was supposed to be the Galactic Empire, but I'm just saying. So I had to do a little bit of digging on the side to figure out who the fuck they were, and it's basically just kind of like the Galactic Empire just hired some small little groups for security
Yeah,
in
it's like a
sectors that
private
they didn't really give
police.
a shit about. Yeah. And yeah, fuck, I didn't know anything about that until this show came out. And that, again, like you said, fleshing out this world a little bit more kind of gives it that much more depth than, oh, the Galactic Empire just took over and everyone bent the knee to them. Now they have all these little small sectors of private security, private police, whatever. And I thought that was really awesome, honestly. Now, going back to episode 1 and 2, a lot of world building. They kind of introduce these characters, but it's more so of like, I wouldn't say it's in a great way. It's like they say a name, they show them, they have like a 2-second conversation, and they go to the next person. And it's just like, okay, wait, what the fuck? It seemed fast, but at the same time, it was very fucking slow. I, I don't know. What are your thoughts on that?
So for episodes 1 and 2, I think we were meant to follow in the eyes of Cassian and his frantic, stressed, like, I just killed 2 people and now I got to make a cover story and I got to hide my tracks and whatever else. So it's like him skipping from place to place to place to place, trying to build this story that he was never at the brothel on that other planet and never came in contact. So I was okay with meeting a random person and then disappearing, and then meeting a random person. Like, it shows he's got connections on the planet he lives on, and he's got good friends, even though he kind of seems like he's a loner outcast. He's got people that are there for him when he needs them to be. And it was
So
a
that one
quick,
guy, Tim. Fuck that guy.
yeah, except for Tim with 2 M's. Automatically, fuck that guy.
Shout out to all the guys that are watching this with two M's in their name, named Tim.
He was just a little jealous little bitch.
Yeah, dude. Like you even like you're getting the poontang pie. Like I don't fucking understand. Like what you fucking upset about? You know what
He
you
was
upset
afraid
about?
he was. No, I'm curious if he was afraid he was sloppy seconds, or he was, or he was the Oreo cream filling in between the other two adventures.
I mean, she took a shower beforehand. I'm assuming it's all good. Going back to the to kind of the cold opening of the show and kind of the general tone that I've noticed in like the first couple episodes is, and I don't know if you caught this, but I got like a Blade Runner esque feel to it, especially at the very beginning of episode one when
Oh
he's in the
yeah, no,
brothel. We got the
definitely.
dark colors, the alleyway, the bar. He's in that alleyway with the rain, and I'm like, bro, I can fuck with this all day.
Yep,
And speaking of kind of the look of the show, dude, it looks fucking great.
it does.
Until episode four, we'll talk about some of the shit in episode 3 and 4 in just a second. But the set design and the look of this show is 1,000 times better than anything in the Acolyte.
Oh yeah, but I mean, and you just came back from Disney, and you
Mm-hmm.
saw the Galaxy's Edge. It felt like that. I mean, they did a
Yeah,
great job at Disney making a world. I mean, that's what this set looks like.
it looks really damn good. I know in the first 2 episodes, even with some of the maybe like some of the green screen effects, like I couldn't fucking tell, dude. Like that shit looked lived in. It looked fleshed out. It looked detailed. It looked like it had some depth to it, especially with them running in the streets and shit like that.
Actually running
Um,
and not like slow mo chase scenes and stuff like that, like we've seen in other shows.
yes, yes. We don't want to talk about that though. So yeah, all that shit. The show looks great. Episode 4, just briefly, I just want to mention that some of the green screen effects, which I don't know if they filmed in, it reminded me of Lord of the Rings, honestly, with some of the backdrops. It kind of looked like that landscape, but some of it looked like a green screen at times. I'm like, oh, that looks ugly. That looks ugly. Oh God. And then it was like multiple times over the course of that episode that it just did not look good. Episodes 1, 2, and 3, I thought the CGI, the set design, all that was just absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best looking Star Wars for sure.
Oh yeah.
All right, so let's skip ahead. I know we didn't really talk too in depth about episodes 1 and 2. Not a whole lot of shit happens in episode 1 and 2. Okay, like I said, it's a lot of just building the world out. It's not a whole lot of plot. I know that the Premor Authority makes some moves in episode 2, and that kind of progresses into episode 3. Um, but in terms of just anything just specifically happening in those first 2 episodes, nothing really happens. Um, I really want to spend a majority of our time on 3 and 4 because I thought those episodes were some of the best Star Wars from Disney that we have gotten.
Absolutely.
I think.
No,
And I know
absolutely.
that's a low floor. That's a low floor, but I want to give credit where credit's due. Like that shit was good.
Absolutely.
One thing that I want to talk about, and this also happened in episodes 1 and 2, the flashbacks. I don't like the flashbacks. Um, I feel like they're either A, just not executed properly, or B, or maybe both. I just don't feel compelled to watch those scenes. They don't seem overly interesting to me. And I also don't like the transitions from the past to the present.
They don't make it
Episode
clear
one,
initially. It's just like it jumps to and from.
well, in episodes 1 and 2, it makes it very clear, or not very clear, but it makes it more clear than what it does in episode 3. Episode 3, when it's transitioning from what is her name, Marva,
Mm-hmm.
and she meets Cassian as a kid,
Yep.
and, like, I had to rewind it because I thought we were looking at shit in the present, and that wasn't the case. We were looking at shit in the past. So the transitions from the present back to the past was not all that great in like episode 3.
You don't
But
think they aged her or de-aged her enough for the for you to notice?
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. And then I was also at work, so that might have a little bit to do with me paying 100% attention to this. But I do know that every time the transitions in 1 and 2 was mostly like it would go from where Cassian was, and then it would show like greenery, and that's how you just knew that it was talking about the
Right.
past. And it would
Because he
show,
was in this desert-like planet, and then all of a sudden there's a forest full of kids.
yes, but when it cut back to them like on the ship, that's when it got a little less clear to me. Um, so overall, I didn't really give a shit about the past stuff. I don't, and I also don't think that it was a great idea to just not tell us what any of them are fucking saying.
You
Maybe that
know,
has a
that
little bit to do
that
with
drove
it.
me insane too. They were just like speaking Canary, and I think is the whatever. But they're just talking, and we're just kind of just staring at the screen, going, "You did? Do you think they said that? I don't. What are we talking about?
Is he mad?
I
I
need
can't.
subtitles."
I do. I do. Like, I don't know who thought that was a good idea not to kind of translate any of that. But I thought that was a huge misstep. Um, And really, that's my biggest complaint of the show so far was the past stuff with the Canary, no subtitles, and the transitions. I'm just not a huge fan of that whatsoever. I don't know how much more we get of that past episode 4. I don't think we got any of the past stuff in episode 4, so maybe it's done. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, maybe
Uh,
that's just they're trying to build a relationship between Marva and Cassian and his missing hooker sister.
I mean, shit, you could have just I would have been okay with a little monologue. And I look, I bitch about it all the time. I fucking hate monologues where they're just recapping past events like that. I don't typically like that, but I think I would prefer that over what we got in these first 3 episodes
I mean,
with
how much time did we actually spend? Like the flashback scenes.
too
It's not
much,
like they
too
went,
much.
but it's not like they went on for like 10 minutes. It was like here's 45 seconds.
Hey, 45 seconds is a long time, sir. Okay. Shout out to
Shout out.
that. Like it reminded me of when they showed the past shit in the Acolyte. Now, granted, I will I will say this doesn't come close to how fucking awful that shit was, but it reminded me of it, like how much I just did not care about it. It's my only complaint. My only complaint of the first 4 episodes is the stuff in the past. I just don't think it was executed correctly.
It's because children.
Yeah, I mean,
You know my stance on children actors.
and then when he's in there like destroying the ship, I was like, okay, like we're kind of overacting here. Like it was
It,
pretty bad.
and I didn't understand why he was beating the shit out of the computers.
I guess he was pissed off that whoever that chick was got killed. Was that his mom?
Well, they're all children. So
Is
I
that
don't.
was that a child that got killed?
Yeah, that was like a teenager. Like there's no adults.
Oh fuck!
Bunch of
See, I'm
kids.
telling you.
And it's
See,
like,
they didn't do a great job of fucking telling us anything about what was going on.
yeah, and it's like the ship didn't do it. It was like the random survivor that was yellow. Like, if you want to start mangling bodies out of hatred, don't beat up the technology.
Exactly. Like, dude, you can fucking use that shit. I got it. Typical child just destroying shit and doesn't understand the value of it.
I didn't necessarily understand why Marva was so immediately attached to him.
Yeah, like, yeah, I show up to a ship trying to steal some shit, and I'm like, oh, a fucking kid. Let's go, bro. Let me steal the kid.
There's like 30 more in the woods. I mean, you can.
Yeah, I didn't think about that until you just mentioned that. But yeah, she straight up just immediately locked on to the kid.
Just him, and then she left everybody else there. They're like, yeah, fuck the rest of those kids. The Empire can have them or whoever. Or they didn't even say
Jesus
Empire because
Christ.
they said it was a Republic vessel. So this is during the time of the Republic. This isn't even during the
I didn't
Empire.
even hear that part. I
Yeah, they
didn't even hear that
said,
part.
yeah, B, the Tourette's robot said, or the stuttering robot said, the our Republic vessels entering airspace or whatever. So like we had to go.
Did they say this is this takes 10 years after Order 66?
No. So
I could have sworn they said 10 years.
no. So the opening scene with him going into the brothel is 5 BBY. So this takes place 5 years before the Battle of Yavin.
Okay.
So 13 years, I guess, technically, because the Empire only ruled for or the Empire became established and Luke was what, 17 or 19 years old during the Battle of Yavin.
Mm-hmm.
So
Okay.
somewhere in there.
Somewhere there.
But
All right.
this takes place exactly 5 years before Battle of Yavin.
Gotcha. All right, so let's dive into episodes 3 and 4 just just a little bit. This is really where the show picks up for me is 3 and 4, especially 3. 3 was fucking fantastic. Um, Shit is finally happening with the Premor Authority. They're finally looking for Cassian. And initially, I wasn't a big fan of. I think his name is Cyril, whatever how you want to fucking say his name. The guy that disobeyed orders, trying to fucking whip out his dick, and when he whipped it out, it was a tiny dick because he got fucking owned by
Was
Cassian.
that was the one that changed his uniform so it was fitted to give him a more I don't know, form fitting stature.
Yes.
Yeah.
The guy that was like so bent out of shape about those two people getting killed at the very beginning.
Mhm. And his boss is just like, yeah, they just fucked with
Fuck
the
it.
wrong guy. Fuck them. Like we don't need to draw attention to this. We don't need the Empire to come here. Let us just, we have an audit coming up. Just let's brush it on the table. No big deal. And
We
I'm
weren't
kind of
gonna
like,
like him anyways.
right. And I'm kind of like, you know what? They were kind of dicks anyway. You really didn't need them. Like, yeah, I'm not, not on the boss's side right now.
Right? I mean, all employees are expendable, right?
Right.
So initially, I thought he was a little bit of a bitch. I mean, he's still a little bit of a bitch. Let's not get wrong here, okay? He's still a little bit of a bitch. But at first, I wasn't super crazy about his character. But I'm not gonna lie, I'm very intrigued slash interested in what they can do with this character from this point forward
He
after episode 3.
he really reminded me of oh god, what was his name? In Aliens. The the officer in Aliens, where it was like, yeah, I've done a bunch of simulations. I've only done one live jump or whatever. Like, really doesn't
Yeah,
know what he's doing. That's what he reminded me of. Big
good
man in
comparison.
charge, no clue what's going on.
Just making ship as he goes.
Right. But no, now or I'm sorry, so 3 happens and Cassian just slaps his dick across his face and
It was great.
it kills all 12 guys, or kills a lot of the 12 guys. And then we go to episode 4, and the Empire is pretty much breaking apart the entire private police, and they're taking over, and they've been reassigned. It's technically not reassigned because they're not moving to a new location doing that same job. He's just straight up fired and being deported.
That's how you know you fucked up. Like I just I like the potential of where the story goes because when it all happens, he looks like he has like this great, I guess, credit to the show. The Star Wars has never been great about really showcasing like emotion within some of their villains outside of like Vader and a couple of villains here and there they'll do it, but like the henchmen and shit like that, they won't ever really show personality with those guys. They're just kind of like stone
It's,
faced and
you
they
can't
just
even say with the villains. That's like all Star Wars characters are all one dimensional for the most part.
that's true. That's true. I was just focused on the villains for right now, but yeah, you're right. You're right.
Right. So,
But I think they're doing a good job of kind of showing some different sides of him uh after episode 3 where he looks like he is just fucking like he looks like a dude that just got his dick beat. Not in a good way, okay? And but he also kind of looks pissed off like if I ever fucking see that Cassian guy again, I'm gonna fuck him kind of thing.
mm-hmm.
So I like the potential of where that can go. I don't know where it's gonna go, but I like the potential of it. Especially if they can keep developing that character a little bit more. But Cassian, man, like you said, he whipped that dick out and just laid it on their foreheads, trying to escape, and they had no idea what to fucking do.
They did.
Which I really love that about Star Wars. Okay, and I can kind of get us into the topic of Skywalkers and Jedi's and lightsabers, and is it overdone? Is it overplayed? Whatever. That's probably a conversation for a different day. But I really love it when Star Wars leans into this, and that's probably why I love Rogue One so much. Is it feels so different in comparison to the other movies? They really lean into this rebel stealing shit, blowing shit up, trying to infiltrate, kind of like espionage aspect of it. Um, I love that about it, man. I love that shit.
And this is really a time where I guess the rebellion at this point is maybe just being born. But
Yeah.
like Cassian isn't involved in that right now. That entire planet is not involved in any kind of rebellion. Cassian's honestly kind of a bad guy. In these first few episodes, he's a villain. He's a minor villain, but he's a villain himself.
That's true, but I mean, dude, I haven't seen Rogue One in so long. It's gonna be interesting to watch season 2 and then jump into Rogue One. I'm not gonna watch Rogue One until after season 2.
I'm down with that.
Um,
I do distinctly remember though the second Cassian gets introduced in Rogue One again, he just fucking kills somebody. Like,
exactly. And he seems like that type of guy that like he's not full send into the rebellion kind of thing until he meets what's her name? What the fuck is her name in Rogue One?
oh, yes, that one.
Does it start with a J?
Yes.
Jade. Jane.
No, no, no. It's a
Joan.
weird one. I
I'm
was like
trying to
gonna
name
say
all the
like
J.
Jara, Jen.
Jen. Damn
Yeah.
it. Yeah, we just need like a 5-minute clip of us just naming every girl name with a J.
Jen with a Y though.
Jen with a Y, yeah. Like she's the one that actually gets him to fucking pay attention and do the rebellion shit in Rogue One. So I'm very curious to know where he goes from this point to where we see him in Rogue One. And again, I don't want to watch Rogue One until after season 2.
Yeah, I would very
To
much like to see him continue this currently. Just I'm in it for myself right now.
Yeah.
And I want them to keep that so that way they're not like erasing the development in Rogue One. especially with
Agreed.
this series being made, what, 15 years after Rogue One has?
You're fucking joking. Has it really been 15 years?
I'm sorry, 9 years.
That's a little bit. 15 years is a lot. I was going to say, I was like, dude, it has not been 15 years.
Still, 9 years is a long fucking time.
It is. It is, and it makes you wonder why we haven't gotten like more of those stories from Star Wars, but or from Disney, and it's mainly because we can't fucking trust Disney to do this shit right. But I digress. Um, but yeah, I really like the shit that the tone, the story, all that we're getting with Andor. And I love the different angle and spin that we're kind of getting on the Empire at this point. Because if you kind of think about it, the Empire's always just been viewed as they're fucking evil, and that's really kind of it.
Right.
I mean, some Star Wars stories it kind of dives a little bit further into it, but not really much. This one, I thought it was interesting when what's his name, Luthen, kind of makes the point like they're all fat and happy, and their arrogance has blinded them. I love how they're kind of putting a different characterization on the Empire at this point. Where, yeah, the Empire's in full force. They're super fucking arrogant. They don't think that anybody is going to fuck with them at this point. And this show, it just seems like it's kind of peeling back the layer on all that, and these rebels can start infiltrating the Empire based on their arrogance, and I really love that.
And then we saw the introduction of two more people in season episodes 3 and 4, and that was going to be Deidre Miro, the Imperial officer who is trying to further her position by uncovering some conspiracy
Yeah, like she tries whipping her dick out and it gets immediately slapped.
by Kyburn. It's like, no,
Who is that guy? Who is the
Kyburn.
main guy?
He was in Game of Thrones. He was Cersei's medicine man that brought the
Yes,
yeah,
yes. Okay,
brought the
yep.
mountain back to life.
I couldn't fucking think of it, dude. I saw him and I was like, bro, I have seen you somewhere before.
Well,
But
and
I like his character though in this.
Vel from episode 4, you recognize her?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't even remember who that was.
The leader chick on the green planet that is pissed that Andor got brought into the fold 3 days before they do their heist.
No, who is she?
She was also in Game of Thrones.
Was she one of the who is she?
She was Arya's counterpart in the house of the Faceless Men's house. She was
Oh yeah. She sure the fuck is.
yeah,
Damn. That's a deep cut, sir. I forgot all about her.
yep.
I need to rewatch Game of Thrones eventually. It's such a great watch until the last season. But I digress. Moving on. Um, I thought both of those kind of like they're giving us some more characters with the Empire than we're used to,
Mhm.
and I do like that we're not just simply focusing on the rebellion and the start of all that. We're also kind of showing some people in the Empire and uh given us some different things with that than we've gotten before. And again, I really like the depth of the show
Well,
and how they're
and
doing something different.
they got even more layers because we also get introduced to Mon Mothra,
Mm-hmm.
and we get to see that side of the rebellion, not just Luthen's side where he's like, let's wreck some shit. We have her side now that's like, how are we going to pay for all this motherfucking shit? Like, I got to work some finances out. I got to do this. I got to schmooze these people. Like, we're really seeing it develop,
Exactly.
and
And
how she's kind of going around. Like, she's married, she's got a kid. Her husband seems like he's very comfortable with how life is. He's not a part of this. She's trying to keep him out of the loop. The daughter is just like daddy, and so she's trying to circumvent that, and I can only imagine it's going to get messy.
I remember watching that scene between her and her husband about the dinner that they're gonna have,
Mhm.
and I don't know, I was kind of thrown off by it. Like it seemed like she was joking at like one point, and then her very next thing was, "Don't you fucking do that again." I was like, "God damn, bro! Like you fucking just flipped a switch on him. I thought y'all were joking. Apparently, you're not.
Also,
Sounds like a marriage."
I like that the roles were kind of reversed on that scene. Like typically it's the husband, and I'm as a husband, I'm gonna say, my wife makes plans all the time, and I forget all about them. And in this one, he made the plans, and she fucking forgot about everything.
And then he's playing the nonchalant. I'd be fine. They're all going to sit down here with me because we're going to be fun.
Right.
We're going to be the fucking fun ones. And I'm like, I take offense to that, but whatever. But yeah, it was kind of a weird exchange because I thought they were joking for a second, but then she very much was not joking.
Definitely
But
doesn't feel like a loving marriage. It's more of a marriage of
convenience,
convenience. Yeah.
like a means to an end kind of thing.
Hmm.
Like she's just using him to get what she wants. Which let's talk about Luthen real quick, okay?
Yes. The main good guy, bad guy, good guy thing.
Dude, I fuck with Luthen so hard, okay? That dude is a fucking savage. I love him.
He's a Skarsgård.
He's great in just about everything that he's in. I'm gonna say, like outside of Cassian, favorite character so far. They're like neck and neck. And really how much I love Cassian is based off of how much I enjoyed Rogue One. So if I didn't have Rogue One to influence my love for his character, I would say Luthen is like numero uno in terms
I
of
he's a good character. I don't trust him.
you don't trust him?
They straight up, whenever he's talking to Vel, he's like, and she's like, "What if he doesn't play ball?" And he's expendable. Kill him.
Okay, he look. I'm a stand up for my boy Luthen here. He's just trying to play the game. Okay, that's it. He
Is
he
he?
knows that
Or
Cassian.
do you think he's that cold blooded where it's his mission, his goal is the only thing that fucking matters?
I don't know. I don't think he would have fought so hard to get him to join if he thought he was expendable. But I do love the fact that he's like he has this complete personality change when he gets back on Coruscant and he meets with the center and he's like this kind of like a flamboyant character. I'm
He
like,
throws the wig
bro,
on and the gown, and he's like,
dude, I saw that. I'm like, what the fuck is going on? Where's this going? And then I saw it. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm just gonna trust. I'm just gonna trust people on this. Okay,
I was
this is fucking
disappointed he
great.
didn't like pop in some veneers or something like that too to make his smile look wider and straighter.
He's fucking great, man. I don't think I don't trust him. Look, I'm gonna be on the Luthen train until it fucking derails. Okay, I'll die on this fucking hill. But yeah, he's a Skarsgård man. He's great in everything. I love playing the game of what would a different actor do in this role? Would this character be as good with a different actor? I do that quite frequently when I'm watching other movies. I don't know if this character would be as good though if Skarsgård was not the actor. What do you think? I'm
I
not
mean,
saying I'm not saying another actor couldn't play the role, but like there's just something about Skarsgård that just fits with this.
okay. I'm trying to think of anybody else that could even jump into that role as a replacement just off the fly, and I can't think of anybody.
Do you think now if this happens in season 1, obviously don't spoil it. But maybe season 2, Ben Mendelsohn comes into play towards the end of season 2. Yeah, Ben Mendelsohn played
What did Ben
Orson Krennic
Mendelsohn do?
in Rogue One.
He
He was
was that's
the
who I
main bad
thought. Okay,
guy
I looked him up and I'm like, I
in
think I recognize that guy.
Rogue
He
One.
was
He
the
was
one
the
that
one
was
that got
chasing
force
after Jen's
choked.
dad or whatever.
Yeah. He was the main baddie outside of Darth Vader. Dude, I would be totally down for that. Okay, but also to be completely fair, I am a Ben Mendelsohn dick rider, so I like him in everything.
Yeah,
So I want him in everything, basically.
I would be okay with him staying out of it though and having his baddie introduction in Rogue One. Like, we don't need to bring in all the characters from the movie to make the movie. Like, especially like,
That's
so what
fair.
was it?
I don't like it,
Episode
but that's fair.
episode 3, they mentioned an increased amount of shipments going to Scarab.
Yep.
And
Yep.
I
I
think
saw
that
that and
was
I was like,
enough
I
to
was,
I like okay, they sprinkled it in like in 5 years we're gonna come back to that. And I'm like, that's it. You don't need to mention anything from Rogue One again at this point.
that's fair. Look, I want him in the fucking show, but I'm not happy about it. But you're probably right. You're probably right. Um, I wouldn't. I'm okay with just the sprinkling of the shit, just to kind of leading the breadcrumbs to Rogue One. Nothing like huge. I heard the scare thing, and I was like, hey. I was like the Leonardo DiCaprio meme. I know that. But you mentioned a second ago.
Yeah. So Luthen's got a kyber crystal. Why?
Yeah. So, and he says it means a lot to him, and he
It
wants
means a
it
lot
back.
to
Which,
him.
so I want to use that to kind of further my point that I think he is trustworthy, because if he thought the dude was expendable, he wouldn't have given him the kyber crystal. Because
Maybe.
what if he just dies just randomly somewhere and he's just like, well, fuck, I don't have the crystal now.
Yeah, I guess maybe, but like, and that's assuming that it's actually a kyber crystal. Like, how does Cassian know if it is or not? It's like it's a blue and white crystal, and he says it's worth 50,000, but
Is it?
is it? But I mean, like, if it is a true kyber crystal and it means a lot to him, like the kyber crystals really don't do anything for anybody except for Jedi.
I don't think he's a Jedi. Do you?
I don't know. I mean, he's got that cane that comes apart. Like, what if that's like his fucking lightsaber hilt?
Hmm. What if he is a Jedi?
What if?
Man, what if? I'm gonna be honest. I thought about it for like 2 seconds when it happened, and I was like, he's not a Jedi. They're all fucking dead at this point. Most of them, anyways.
Right.
And I was like, now you got me thinking a little bit more about it. Because he was wearing a the
The whole roby thing.
the robe, and only Jedi wear the robes.
Right. And then he's got that
Rules are
detachable
rules.
cane and everything, and just the way he's strutting and walking like he owns the place. Like, and he's got a kyber
What
crystal.
what if that cane does turn into a fucking lightsaber at one point? Would you be erect?
I don't know. I kind of like the fact that we don't have Jedi going on right now. So
I do too. I look. I know I mentioned it earlier, but I'm perfectly okay with them staying far away from anything Skywalker. I hope there's no, like, I don't mind them mentioning Darth Vader in this, but I hope Darth Vader never shows up anywhere in this series. Um, no mention of Jedi. Well, I don't want to say no mention of Jedi, but like no showing of Jedi lightsabers and shit like that. I'm perfectly okay with none of that being in the show,
I agree.
and this strictly being a rebel espionage stealing shit kind of show.
I agree. I have a feeling that Ahsoka might make an entrance in this next season, just because the way they've said they're breaking it out is what every 3 episodes is 1 year
Oh, with season two.
with season 2. Yeah, every 3 episodes is 1 year. So we're approaching that time where Ahsoka is going to be intermingling with the rebellion and becomes her code name is Fulcrum,
Mm-hmm.
and she's kind of one of the ones leading the charge. So with Andor and all, I kind of have it into I'm expecting Ahsoka to at least make it in the last 3 episodes of season 2.
So I haven't watched that show.
I'm waiting for season 2 to come out.
Has it been greenlit?
I think so. I don't know. There's a lot of
I
moving
don't
in
know.
Disney right now. Like Kennedy's leaving, and
Thank God.
maybe, but she's also not the one that made a lot of these shows and movies, so she just greenlit them.
Yeah, but she also greenlit a lot of the other shit too. You got if you're gonna take the good, you gotta take the bad with it, you know? But yeah, man, episode 3 and 4, I thought were absolutely fantastic. Episodes 1, 2, not bad by any means, but I mean, it is a slow burn, like so
It
many people
is.
fucking told me about.
It is a slow burn with crazy good episodes sprinkled in amongst two or three slow building ones.
Mm-hmm.
So
I'm excited to see where it all goes, man. It's gonna turn into this little heist, little show. I'm assuming in the next couple episodes where they're gonna start stealing some fucking money, and that's not gonna piss anybody off.
not at all.
So that's gonna be so fucking good. I can just tell. I can just tell it's gonna be so fucking good. But yeah, I'm fully on board. When episode 4 ended, I was like, fuck.
Now I gotta
Really want to
wait.
watch episode 5. Yeah, now I gotta fucking wait, bro. This is bullshit. So yeah, I'm excited to watch the next 4 episodes. And all that, man.
I will be here with you.
Ooh,
It
don't threaten me
took
with a good
me
time.
it took me a minute to watch all 4 episodes. I kept on falling asleep. It was a very long weekend. So
Yeah, I'd watch like a few minutes of like I think it was like episode 2. I watched like 5 minutes, and I was like, okay, like I gotta fucking take a nap. I'd come back, take a little nap, come back, watch another 5 minutes, take a nap.
yep.
Now, to be fair, I don't think it was all the show. I think I was just fucking exhausted
Oh, and it
at the
wasn't
time because
even
I hadn't been sleeping good.
yeah, it
But
wasn't even episode 1 and 2 for me. It was like I had to rewatch episode 4 like 3 or 4 times.
oh yeah, it'd be like that sometimes, man.
It do. It's been rough.
It has, it has. I'm still trying to recover from my 21 days in a row. Okay, like
Yeah.
I still have not recovered from that emotionally and physically.
That
I think the emotional damage is going to be permanent. To be honest with you.
was a rough
But
go.
yeah, guys. Next week we are going to be here for episodes 5 through 8. So if you are going to be following along with us in our rewatch of Andor season 1, then go ahead and watch 5, 6, 7, and 8. And we are going to catch y'all next week. Leave us a comment down below. Do not, for the love of God, if you spoil anything of this fucking show, I'm just gonna leave comments because I can't really do anything else to you. But just know I'm gonna be fucking pissed off. Okay, don't be that
Uh,
guy.
unless we know you, and then we're coming for you.
Yes, in more ways than one. So yeah, leave us a comment down below of your thoughts on episodes 1 through 4, not past 4. Don't be that guy, please. Don't be that guy. Okay. But yeah, guys, that's going to be it from us, sir. I appreciate you joining me.
Always a pleasure.
The pleasure is all mine. I promise you. All right, guys, that's going to be it from us. We'll catch y'all next week on the next episode. Laters.